Let us now look at the signals given. You can see S1 of t is having duration 0 to t by 3 with amplitude 1. S2 of t, similarly it has up to 2 t by 3, and S3 of t, t by 3 to t, and S4 of t 0 to t, and amplitudes are same. From these given signals, what you can observe is S4 of t is linearly dependent on S1 of t and S3 of t, or you can say S4 of 3 is not independent signal. It is dependent on the given set of signals. How it is possible? Say S1 of t is 0 to t by 3 and S3 of t is t by 3 to t. If we add S1 of t and S3 of t, we can get S4 of t. So we need to find orthogonal basis functions for only linearly independent set of signals. So only leftover signals are now S1 of t, S2 of t and S3 of t. Since S4 of t is linearly dependent on the given signals, we are not going to find orthonormal basis for S4 of t. So minimum we are going to have 3 orthonormal basis functions. Here m is equal to 4, given signals are 4, but we are going to find the orthonormal basis functions, which will be now 3. N is equal to 3. As we know the rule, n is less or lesser than equal to m. Okay, that is satisfied over here. So let us start the procedure. As I have already said, the energy of signal S1 of t is calculated first, which is given by this equation. What is the energy? It is 0 to t S1 whole square t dt. S1 amplitude value is, or the strength is 1, and it is spanning not from 0 to t, it is the duration is only up to 0 to t by 3. If we substitute these values, we will get this, and after integration we will get the value as t by 3. Okay, now what we have, the first basis function, it is given by S1 of t by square root of e1, correct? So we substitute S1 of t value, which is 1, e1 value, which is t by 3 square root of t by 3 over 1. So if we invert this, we'll get root 3 by t for the duration of 0 to t by 3, because you see here the signal spans from 0 to t by 3 only. So phi 1 of t is root 3 by t in the range 0 to t by 3. Elsewhere it will be 0. Now we have to find the second basis function by applying this equation, which is simplified one. Already we have explained about this. Phi 2 of t is given by S2 of t minus S21 into phi 1 of t square root of e2 minus S21 whole square. So S2 of t we know already, which is having a amplitude value 1 from 0 to 2t by 3, correct? Unknown is S21. Phi 1 of t we have calculated over here, correct? Phi 1 of t we have calculated. E2 we can calculate the energy of S2, and if we substitute all these values, we'll get the second orthonormal basis function. Let us start now. See here E2. How we can calculate E2? E2 is given by 0 integration 0 to 2t by 3, because it is spanning from 0 to 2t by 3 S2 whole square t dt. So the amplitude is 1. If we substitute and simplify, we will get the energy as 2t by 3. To find the coefficient S21, what we have, the equation is S21 is equal to 0 to t S2 of t phi 1 of t dt, and S21 What is its spanning? It is depends on phi 1 because phi 1 lies between 0 to t by 3 only. So in this we can divide the interval between 0 to t by 3 and t by 3 to 2t by 3 and 0 again you can say plus 2t by 3 to t. In the other interval we are going to get value as 0. Only in this interval we can have a answer, correct? The area under this curve can be calculated. Here I have missed one point. You can write here plus 2t by 3 to integration from 2t by 3 to t s2 of t multiplied by phi 1 of t dt. So as you know, you are going to get 0 over here because phi 1 of t is only from 0 to t by 3 as given by this equation. Okay. Now if we substitute the values of phi 1 of t and s2 of t and integrate, we'll get s21 as this answer. Now we have to substitute in the equation number a, which was phi 2 equation, the second orthonormal basis functions equation, and after simplifying what we get is we get root 3 by t in the range between t by 3 to 2t by 3. Why it is t by 3 to 2t by 3? It is because phi 1 is ending at t by 3 and S2 will end at 2t by 3. So in between these two values we are going to have phi 2 of t. Now we found two orthonormal basis functions. We will have to find the next orthonormal basis functions. The general equation, as I have said already, it is phi I of t is equal to gi of t divided by square root of integration 0 to t gi of t whole square dt, where I is equal to 1 to up to n. So 1 and 2 we have already calculated, phi 1 and phi 2. Phi 3 is I, we have to substitute here 3, then we will get this equation. So what is g3 of d? Sorry, g3 of t, it is given by this equation. Okay, here we'll substitute coefficient or the suffix 3, here also 3, here 3j, 5j. Now when you substitute I is equal to 3 and simplify this equation, we'll get this equation. Okay, substituting j is equal to 1 first, then j is equal to 2 second. So we'll get s31, s32, phi 1, phi 2. This s3 of t will be from this only. Okay, from the above equations. So now what are the unknowns in this equation? The unknowns are s3 of t is already given in the problem itself. Phi 1 of t we have calculated, phi 2 of t also we have calculated. We need to find s31, s32. How we can calculate s31? S31 is given by s3 of t, it is not 1, okay, s3 of t, phi 1 of t dt integrated over 0 to t. It will become 0 because no common area between s3 of t and phi 1 of t, which you can verify here. S3 of t is 1 between the interval t by 3 to t, while as phi 1 of t is square root of 3 by t between 0 to t by 3. They don't have a common area between them. So when you multiply this, it will become eventually 0. Next one, S32, we are going to calculate it using this. Now I have split the integration into three parts: 0 to t by 3, t by 3 to 2t by 3, 2t by 3 to t. In these three parts, only from t by 3 to 2t by 3, the area between S3 of t and phi 2 of t will merge. You can see over here, S3 of t is from t by 3 to t, whereas phi 2 is t by 3 to 2t by 3. So if you multiply these two signals, you can see only from t by 3 to 2t by 3, there is a possibility of multiplication. Other two values will go to 0. That's why I can write this equation, modified equation, like this. Now I substitute for S3 of t is equal to 1 and phi 2 of t is equal to square root of 3 by t and integrate it. I will get, after simplification, as S3 2 is equal to square root of t by 3. Now using equation 6 and 7 in equation 5, what is equation 6? Equation 6 is here. Equation 6, this value is 0 and 7, that is S32 value is there. If we substitute those two values, square root of t by 3 and phi 1, phi 2 values, then we'll get this equation. You can see as S31 is 0, this will become 0. S32, it is conditionally valid, correct? S32 multiplied by phi 2 of t, it is valid only for t by 3 to 2t by 3 for that duration. So we will use that here, and S3 of t is 1 minus square root of t by 3. This value I have substituted, but phi 2 of t, so this phi 2 of t takes two values. In the interval t by 3 to 2t by 3, it will take square root of 3 by t. Okay, if we consider this in this interval, what happens here? Square root of 3 by t multiplied by square root of t by 3, it will become 1. S3 of t is 1, 1 minus 1 will be 0. In this interval, the value of G3 will be 0, correct? And phi 2 is 0 elsewhere. Phi 2 is 0 elsewhere means this will become 0, means the answer will be 1. For what interval this is 1? For the interval t by 3 to t. But from t by 3 to 2t by 3, because of this it is becoming 1 minus 1 0. But when you consider this as 0, it will become 1. So for 2t by 3 to t, we are going to get as 1. You can see over here this interval. If you subtract S3 minus this quantity, here it is 1, 1 minus 1 is 0, but here it is, if you subtract 1 minus 0, you are going to get 1. So that is the between the interval 2t by 3 to t. It is what written over here. G3 of t, you are going to get 1 for 2 for the interval 2t by 3 to t. Otherwise it will be 0. Using this in equation for phi 3 of t, which is equation B, we are going to get, yes, you can see over here, G3 of t is 1 for this interval. If we substitute this in the equation B, okay, what we are going to get is, integrating this over the period 2t by 3 to t dt, we are going to get 1 divided by square root of t by 3, which is square root of 3 by t. So we can put this in this way. In this interval, we are going to get phi 3 of t, and otherwise the phi 3 will be 0. This is the third orthonormal basis function. Okay. Now what we have got? We have got three orthonormal basis functions using which we can represent S1 of t, S2 of t, S3 of t, and S4 of t. Since S4 of t is dependent on the signals S1 and S2 of t, we are not going to find orthonormal basis, but using these existing bases, this is phi 1 of t, okay, this is phi 2 of t, this is phi 3 of t. The order I have changed, okay. Phi 1 of t should have written here, so it might have been compatible for you to look through the signals. So these are the three orthonormal basis functions. What we can do with these basis functions? Using these basis functions, we can represent S1 of t, S2 of t, S3 of t, and S4 of t. How we can represent? See, this is similar to our S1 of t except the amplitude level, which is 1. If we multiply this quantity by square root of t by 3, which is the energy of the signal, if we multiply that, we will get cancelled with 3 by t and t by 3 square roots. You will get 1 for the interval 0 to t by 3. So S1 of t is produced. You can see in this slide. Next, S2 of t can be generated by adding phi 1 of t and phi 2 of t and multiplying square root of t by 3. We add these two signals and multiply by square root of t by 3. Then this square root of 3 by t will cancel out and we'll get S2 of t. Similarly, S3 of t can be calculated or generated by adding these two signals and multiplying them by square root of t by 3. Phi 2 of 3, phi 2 of t, phi 3 of t. Similarly, the S4 is generated by using this equation. Same in the vector form has been written over here. You can see this is S1 vector, S2 vector. Here I should have written S3 vector. This is S4 vector, equivalent of signals S1 of t, S2 of t, S3 of t, and S4 of t. By this, what we can conclude? With only 3 basis functions or minimum 3 basis functions, we are sufficiently going to represent 4 signals given in the particular example. I hope you have understood the orthogonalization procedure in a better way now. I am giving a homework problem for you. Do solve this and come up with your answers. This is the problem. Okay. So these are the signals. Question statement will be same. You have to find the orthogonal basis function for S1 of t, S2 of t, and S3 of t. I hope you will solve this. Thanks for watching.